very, very grateful to you for your abundant graces. Listen, Rihanna, when you die, God is taking me to my future. You want to kill me. Shut the up, okay? Shut the up. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here. Okay? They can't do this. They can't do this. What about my hands? What about these fingers over here? What about these 3 fingers? What about it? What about it? No, you're not here. You're rebuked. And even if you're here, there are many in this realm. There are many in this realm, and you are rebuked, and Jesus is the King, and you're just kicking and screaming on your way out and perishing. It's embarrassing.
Details emerging in this shooting outside of Rihanna's home in Beverly Crest.
That's right. This morning, the LAPD identified the alleged shooter and
a licensed speech therapist, a mother, a woman with a professional career, a LinkedIn profile, and presumably a life that looked completely normal from the outside. And somehow, she ended up on a Los Angeles street with an AR-15 style rifle, firing shots at a home where 3 children were asleep inside. The home of Rihanna. Not a burglary, not a robbery, not a case of mistaken identity. She drove there. From Florida. Across the entire country. With a loaded weapon, extra ammunition, a 30-round magazine, and a blonde wig in her trunk. She had thought about this. She had planned it. And what makes this case genuinely terrifying, what should keep you up tonight, is that she didn't think she was doing anything wrong. In her mind, she was the victim. Rihanna was the one with the problem. Rihanna was the one who needed to be stopped. So tonight, we are going into the mind of Ivana Lizette Ortiz. We are going to trace every warning sign, every post, every court document, every moment the world had a chance to see what was building inside this woman, and didn't. Or couldn't. Or just wasn't looking hard enough. Because this wasn't random. This was a collapse that happened in slow motion, and almost no one caught it before it turned into gunfire on a Sunday afternoon. It is March 8, 2026. It's a little after 1 in the afternoon. Beverly Crest, Los Angeles. Rihanna is home. A$AP Rocky is home. Their children are home. Her mother is home. 3 staff members are in the house. Then the shots start. Before we go any further, if you are someone who believes real stories deserve to be told, if you think the people behind these headlines are more than just names, please like this video, subscribe to 3am Files, and hit that bell. Every view, every like, every subscription tells us to keep going. This is the work that matters. Now let's get into it.
But how would you say this line? L'or de j'adore.
L'or de j'adore.
Okay. L'or de j'adore. Is it too much when I say
Okay. Yes, the
okay.
A bit too much.
Ivana Lizette Ortiz is 35 years old, originally from Illinois, and at the time of the shooting she was living and working in Florida as a licensed speech therapist. On paper, this is a woman who built a career helping people communicate. She worked with language. She understood the weight of words. And yet, the words she was putting out into the world in the months before March 8th were anything but therapeutic. She had been recording herself, posting videos, tagging Rihanna, writing Facebook posts addressed directly to the singer.
You're not the eagle. They will soar high on wings like eagles. Rihanna wants to say that we are flying. That we are flying and we're not. She's not flying. She had a bad day. She looks really stupid and corny. And everyone knows it. But the way that they want to, that girl, the way that Rihanna wants to kill me, she's the one who wants to kill me. The way that Rihanna wants to kill me shows that we're not going to show this right now. But this is my heart, Lord, and I am expecting and waiting in that beautiful time for you to show me what you're going to do and how you're going to deliver this promise. It's in my heart and it's in my vitality, and I'm very, very...
In one post from February 23rd, just 2 weeks before the shooting, she tagged Rihanna's Instagram handle and wrote, "And I want you to really hear this," she wrote, "Are you there? 'Cause I was waiting for your AIDS 5 head self to say something to me directly instead of sneaking around like you talking to me where I'm not at. Read that again. She believed Rihanna was communicating with her. Not publicly. Not directly. She believed Rihanna was somehow reaching into her life in secret, sending hidden messages, watching her, targeting her. This is not frustration. This is not a bad day on social media. This is a fractured perception of reality. This is a woman who had completely lost the line between what was real and what her mind had constructed. And here is where the psychology becomes critical, because this kind of thinking has a name. Erotomania is a delusional disorder where a person, usually someone with no personal connection to the target, becomes absolutely convinced that the target is in a relationship with them, communicating with them, or in some cases, persecuting them. It can look like obsessive love, but it can also look like what we're seeing here, a paranoid, adversarial version where the celebrity becomes the enemy rather than the lover. And the danger with erotomania and related delusional disorders is that the person is not chaotic or visibly unhinged in everyday life. They go to work. They hold conversations. They seem, by most accounts, completely functional. Until they don't. Ivana was not a woman with no history. The court records paint a completely different picture from the professional LinkedIn profile. In 2023, during what appears to have been an extremely bitter divorce, she sent threatening texts to her ex-husband before a physical confrontation. Cell phone video captured her using a homophobic slur against him. She sought a domestic violence injunction against him, but records show that during the same period, she herself had been arrested for domestic violence. Not him. Her. Then it escalated. A Florida court, after reviewing testimony about her mental health, stripped her of all physical custody of her child. The judge barred her from any contact whatsoever, no in-person visits, no phone calls, no video calls, no texts, no emails, not even communication through a third party. The judge cited, quote, concerning testimony about her mental state and specifically worried she might not return the child to the father. That is not a standard custody arrangement. That is a judge who looked at the full picture and decided this child needed to be protected from their own mother. And here is the part that is going to sit with you. Ivana had been involuntarily committed under Florida's Baker Act, which allows for up to a 72-hour psychiatric hold, at some point prior to all of this. She acknowledged it herself under oath in court. She said it was based on false accusations. But a psychiatric hold doesn't happen because someone files paperwork. It happens because trained professionals evaluated her and decided she was a danger to herself or others. Every system that existed to catch someone like Ivana had a moment with her. The family court. The mental health system. Her ex-husband's legal team. Her own social media following. And yet by March of 2026, she was loading a car and driving west. So what broke the dam? What shifted her from someone posting strange videos online to someone who picked up a rifle? This is where the case becomes genuinely chilling, because the answer might be simpler and scarier than we want to believe. Nothing dramatic happened. There was no single trigger, no final provocation, no moment where Rihanna actually did something to her. Ivana had built an entire internal world, a complete narrative in which Rihanna was her enemy, her persecutor, the force standing between her and what she called her future. And at some point, she simply decided to act on it. In a video posted on January 4th, just 2 months before the shooting, she filmed herself and said, "Listen Rihanna, when you die God is taking me to my future. Yeah, she wants to kill me." She wasn't speaking metaphorically. She genuinely believed Rihanna wanted her dead. And she believed God was on her side. That is the inversion that makes this case so psychologically disturbing. She had cast herself as the righteous one. She was not the aggressor in her own story. She was the chosen one, the survivor, the woman being hunted, and she was going to finish it first. In December 2025, she had posted that she was through with Rihanna, then pivoted to going after Kim Kardashian in the same breath. Then she filmed herself in a blonde wig confronting Cardi B in another video. This wasn't a fixation on one person. This was a worldview in which multiple celebrities were somehow connected to her life, interacting with her, threatening her. And what's notable about that blonde wig is where it later showed up, in the trunk of her white Tesla, recovered by police after the shooting. She wore that wig when she was expressing her most aggressive, confrontational self online. And she brought it with her to Los Angeles. Neighbors reported seeing a woman driving slowly up and down the street outside Rihanna's property before the shots were fired. A woman in a white Tesla. Just circling. The gate, an Airstream trailer parked outside, and a neighboring home were all struck by gunfire. Neither Rihanna, A$AP Rocky, their children, her mother, the staff members, nor the neighbors were physically harmed. But 10 people were named as victims in the charges. Because 10 people were in the line of what she chose to do. So now I want to ask you something directly, because this is the part of this case that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. At what point does society have an obligation to intervene? Ivana had been Baker acted. She had lost custody of her child. She had a domestic violence arrest on her record. She had been posting increasingly erratic content publicly for months. She had tagged a global celebrity in threatening posts. And she was legally licensed to operate as a healthcare professional in the state of Florida through all of it. What does it take? What has to happen before a system says, this person needs help before they hurt someone? Is the threshold too high? Or are the systems simply not built to connect these dots in real time? Because the dots were all there. I want to hear from you. Do you think this was a case where the mental health system failed? Do you believe Ivana knew exactly what she was doing, that this was planned violence dressed up in delusion? Or do you think there is something deeper here that we are still not seeing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you think this case goes from here, because the arraignment hasn't even happened yet. This story is not finished. If this video made you think, if it made you feel something, if it reminded you that the most dangerous stories are the ones that build quietly over years before they explode, then you are exactly who 3am Files is for. Subscribe. Hit the bell. Share this with someone who needs to understand that true crime isn't just entertainment, it's a mirror. It shows us who we are, how we fail each other, and what we refuse to see until it's too late. We'll be here. Every case. Every truth.